All right, all right, all right. Halito, everybody. Halito, Halito, Halito. For those who tap in, man. For those who plan on tapping in, man. It's the Copper Color King, man. We back in this bad boy with another banger, man. Some more good content, man. Some more good content for your soul, man. We here to motivate, educate, inspire, put people on, man. Connect people back to the true diaspora. The true. Yeah, man. We talking about the truth. We getting into the truth. A lot of people, man, they don't wanna they don't wanna believe in the truth. They don't wanna believe in the truth. But this is why you have yours truly, man, the Copper Color King. I'm here to deliver. I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe, man. Click that notification bell, man. Follow on all platforms. Follow Morals and Money on all platforms, man. Follow me on all platforms, man. Copper Color King, man. We active on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, across all platforms. Like I said in the last one, man, we got that coloring book dropping real soon. I gotta get that for y'all kids, man. We gonna educate them from young. Let them all understand and see the truth, man, because we gotta get out of that hijack. We gotta dodge that hijack. We gotta get our brains out of that mist. It's stuck in that mist. I call it the bliss, that blissfulness, man. That blissfulness. Yes, sir. What it do, chicken stew, man? Halito. From the Chickasaw Nation. Shout out from Ghana. Ghana. All the way from Ghana. Look at that. That's tough. Chickasaw Nation. All the way from Ghana. Yeah, we in this bad boy, man. And we're going to get more people to tap in real soon, man, as we continue, man. But like I said, y'all just like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to get into a real good one today, man. What I want to introduce to you guys today, for the most part, I know we spoke about the ancient mound builders and their involvement here in the Americas. And before I even get too deeper into that book, right, they talk a lot about sun worship and serpent worship in that book. And when I get to that part, I just want y'all to remember this video right here. Remember this video. Remember that I dropped this video right here because we gonna connect the dots, man. You hear serpent worship, you think about it. It sounds like it's something evil, right? It sounds like it's something evil. But we got to be mindful, man. A lot of that stuff that's in the history, that's they hijack. What's a myth will remain a mystery. So you got to do the research for yourself. And this one today, man, we talking about the ancient Aboriginals and their connections to the lost tribes, the 12 lost tribes of Israel. And I got a special guest for me today, man. Not even a special guest, man. The brother's like a host. He just be acting like a real dweeb sometimes. I ain't even gonna front. We're gonna bring the brother on, man. I got King Cash, man, the host of the Morals and Money podcast. For those who checked out those episodes, man, we got the host in this bad boy today, man. I'm gonna bring him on the screen. King Cash, what it do? Chicken stew, my brother.
What's going on? How y'all doing, family?
What it do, chicken stew, my brother? Yeah, man, we tapped in today, man. We gonna get into a lot of biblical information. I wanted to bring the brother on the channel today because he's really in tune with that stuff, right? Like, you know how I always say, like, man, I ain't religious. I ain't none of that. I don't get into any of that. So sometimes I may be misinformed sometimes, but who I got to come sweep and clean that up real quick? I got the good brother, man, King Cash, man. We in his bag.
Yes, it's good to be here. Thank you, my brother King. My brother King Willow, we fam, so that ain't about none.
Yes,
And
sir.
it ain't much to get on here, but I don't want to say none that I can be conflicted with. We all got to do our own research as well. I'm still a student of learning the Most High and His rules that He has set forth for us. So that's what the truth in the matter is when it comes to the biblical things and when it comes to more in-depth research and speaking on things that you may not know of or bits and pieces of. So you feel me? We're gonna always have research and the books to either back us up, but also the book of the Torah to back us up as well. So
Yeah, I heard it there first, man. My brother is deep into the Torah. Yeah, I mean, do his research, you do his homework, you know. For us, for a brother like me, you know, we keep it spiritual on this side, but you know, we always gotta have that relationship with the word of the book because that is truth. That is law. That is law. And I don't care what anybody say, man. I don't care what nobody say out there. There was some type of text that was created to document a lot of that stuff that was going on around that time. And it wasn't no Bible. Sorry, it wasn't no Bible. We already know that piece of work right there was re-established to perpetrate their agenda, you know, their hijack. So this is extremely important that we do that research all the time. I mean, all the time, like the brother said, we always got to go back to the book to re-educate, just in case we may come off as saying something that might be misinforming, whatever the case may be. But moving forward,
Definitely,
though,
because
right? Yeah,
understand that everybody, not to cut you off, my brother, everybody that
not
does their own research may come up with their own interpretation of something, and that's why we have so many different variations, I guess, religious groups. So, I could say one thing and another brother may say another because he has a different perspective. Now, what's right and what's wrong is not for me to say, but it's for what is true from what the Torah says, or what was even done, practiced back then, and what other books may say, because there's other books that people don't dabble into. You feel me? Other books that I haven't dabbled into myself. So, you feel me? There's just a lot of things that, you feel me, we could get into. So it's like it's more than just saying that you're spiritual or saying that you belong to a religious group. It's nothing. To me, it's not even about having a title anymore. You feel me? It's just having your relationship with the Most High and living your life as righteous as you can be, type shit. So that's
yeah,
my
man.
spill for it. But we gonna get into it the whole time.
Yeah, you said it right, bro. You said it right. People need to understand that. That's how the Aboriginals lived, man. That's how they lived their life. They didn't go based off no groups. They just had that connection with the Most High, man. They had that connection, and that was what was most important. But more so, like, if you guys haven't checked it out, man, I put out two specific videos, and I want to go over those videos real quick just to give a quick run through of what we've been doing lately. You know what we've been having going on over here on the channel. First video is about the history of the Melungeons, right? And then the second video is the history of the mound builders. Now, in those videos, right? For those who can check it out, go check it out. Go subscribe to the Morals of Money platform. As y'all see here, man, we go crazy all the time, 24/7. But yeah, man, the mound builders in the Melungeons book. So what they made extremely important in that book is that these tribes over here in America, specifically in the southeast, a lot of them had major connections to the lost tribes of Israel. And it's so crazy too because you know I talk about this stuff on TikTok and people be saying I be bugging out, right? But you can't tell me I'm bugging out. It's 2024. And you got authors from the 1800s making these same claims. Multiple different authors making these same claims. So we got to do the deep dive. We got to do the analysis. We got to do the research. We got to go out there and figure out specifically what was going on. So real quick, before we even continue into that, right? One thing I wanted to go through was the KGV, the first KGV of, if I'm not mistaken, what year was it, my brother? If you could refresh my memory. Yo, bro. Yeah, I don't know where he went. But yeah, the first thing I wanted to go over, y'all, was the KGV. And basically, the family tree, starting from Noah, going all the way down to where we have the Hebrews coming out of Eber, right? And I'm not one that know too much about the Bible. I'm actually fresh into this stuff myself, doing the new research, trying to educate myself or whatever the case may be. so that I'll be out here and I'll be able to perpetuate the correct message. The right message is all about perpetuating the right message. We don't want to misinform people, like I said. So we gonna go we gonna go over the KGV real quick. Just give me 1 second, y'all. Let me try to get King Cash back in the building. Okay, y'all. Give me 1 second, family. Right. So we in the KJV. And here we have it right here, right? The biblical family tree of Adam and Eve, of the Most High, of Yahweh in general. And as we go down, we see, you got Enoch, Book of Enoch, Canaan. So there go another Enoch. So there's two Enochs. Lamech. We got Noah. This is where we're going to start right here, on Noah. Now, why is this important? Well, technically, according to the biblical story, here's where the three groups of people, or these are the three individuals that humans came out of. We have Ham, Shem, that says Sem, but it's Shem and Japheth, right? Japheth being the progenitor of the light-skinned races, or the lighter races. Some would say Caucasian, I don't know how accurate that may be. Ham being the progenitor of the darker skinned races, those folks who may be in Africa today, the darker skin. And then Shem being the progenitor of the Negroes, right? Now, why is Shem's line important? Well, according to Shem's line, this is the line where the biblical Hebrews come out of. The biblical Hebrews, they come out of Shem's line. And this is where the lost tribes come from. So when these authors are in these books making these connections to the ancient Aboriginals being connected to the lost tribes, they are basically saying that these Aboriginals are the children of Shem. They are Semitic peoples here in America. Yeah, like I always say, ancient America, the true old world. And what makes this important is, in America, 15,000 years ago, 12,000 years ago, like I said, you had things like sun worship and serpent worship going on here in Americas. Yeah, those things were going on when mastodons were still roaming the earth. Sun worship and serpent worship. And like I said, man, if y'all go check out the Mound Builders video, the serpent worship series is coming, man. We're going to talk about that because it's extremely important. I'm going to show y'all, right? Moses' staff, right? Moses' staff, when Pharaoh says to you, we're not even going to get into that, right? It says, the staff is first mentioned in the book of Exodus. When God appears to Moses in the burning bush, God asks what Moses has in his hand. And Moses answers, a staff, a rod in the King James Version, the KJV. Hopefully King Cash help us find that part in the book. And it says the staff is miraculously transformed into a snake and then back into a staff. Now, why did they put a snake on the staff? Right, the Lord said to Moses, make a snake and put it up on a pole. Anyone who is bitten can look at it and live. So Moses made a bronze snake and put it up on a pole. When then anyone was bitten by a snake and looked at the bronze snake, he lived. The Israelites moved on and camped at Obo. So you got to ask yourself, man, serpent worship in America and Moses receiving orders from the Most High himself to turn the serpent, to turn the staff into a serpent. King Cash, we back in this one. My brother, where you went, bro? What happened? What's going on?
His service had messed up, and I got a phone call.
All right, man. It's all right, man. We back in this bad boy. We was just talking about what I was just talking about, pretty much serpent worship in America, and why it's
Yeah, a
extremely
peep.
important. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have basically. I was explaining to them how Moses' staff shaped into a serpent and then shaped back into a staff, and the
Hmm.
representation behind that and everything, whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
And then throughout that, I actually gave people a breakdown of the family tree, and we got up into Noah, but I wanted to wait for you to go back into it. And now that you're here, my brother, I'm so happy, man. Let's check this out. Watch this, right, y'all? Oh snap! I just exit out. Give me 1 second. Back into the family tree. So basically, I was just talking about how um
yeah.
Noah
But
birthed the
before
three.
we even say that, I also want people to realize that there are other people other than, you feel me. There's still other people other than all of those people. All of those people had kids as well.
Right, we
So
got the Cain and Abel story,
yeah, all of those people done had kids.
and then
Those are
there's
just
the two Enoch.
they just name significant people, especially significant men. Remember that there's no women that are mostly named in this tree right here. All of these people are men that are being named.
Right, right, brother. Talk to him, explain it, break it down. This is what we here for. This is what we here for.
Now the book, now the only person that you gonna say that's a woman is Eve. Now remember, us melanated people, you can look it up. They say most, not even us melanated people, us melanated our women. You look it up right now, bro, on Google. What is the Eve gene?
Okay, let's check it out. What is the Eve gene?
They can't see it though.
Nah, that's fine. We're gonna pull it up. We're gonna pull it up. We gonna give him that fire. All right. It says instead, this genetic Eve is simply the most recent female ancestor to whom all modern humans can trace their genealogy. In other words, there were many women who came before her and many women who came after, but her genetic code is the point to from which all modern branches of humanity's family tree grew.
Now, with that being said, like I just said, there was people gotta understand that when they look at the KGB and say the Bible, understand that the Torah is the first book. They only naming people that are significant. There are still other human beings on the earth, most likely. All right. But now the Eve, like it just said, the Eve gene is the most dominant gene, I guess, right? In the woman. And the most women that can give any complexion is a melanated woman. Now let's start off with that being said.
Mm, big drop. What that mean? If any other woman came after that, she had to be melanated, right?
Exactly.
Right. So what does that say, if anything, about the ancient Aboriginals who existed in America 15,000 years ago? The flood was, according to the Bible, if anything, or archaeology or history for that matter, was 15,000 years ago. So what does that say about the first woman of this earth?
A melanated woman is the only person that can create a albino skin complexion type of person.
Mm,
Cannot happen no other way.
big facts, man. That's that fire, man. As we go down this tree too, like I said, that Shem, Ham, and Japheth, them lines, man. Shem being the
Right.
protector of the Negroes.
Right. Like one brother said, he started off with that. He said Shem is basically the father of the Hebrews, the father of the Semites, the word Semites, Semitic languages. Now, today, like we always hear of Semitic people, if you look at those those type of people and who they are, if you look up the definition of words, that cannot be true because they will now be on the right side of him, which is Japheth, his brother, because that is an ancestor of them, which is Ashkenaz, like he's going down right now.
And
So
yes, Ashkenaz right there,
Ashkenaz right there.
right there.
So the fact that they keep the same name, that is their ancestor, not Shem. So nobody in America that is melanated can say, can be called anti-Semitic, right? So when Kyrie said he cannot call himself what he is, anti, that is exactly what he was saying.
You know, it's funny too, because I looked at this part in the KJV and I'm like, so you got this top part, it say Hebrews, and then down the line, it's given a different classifications: Heber, Sale, Chaldeans, Archafad, Sem. Assuming those is two people in Asia. But when you branch off of this tree a little bit and you keep going straight up, you get to a little term right here that says Indians.
Mm.
Who can they be
Wow.
referring to? That's my question.
Wow.
It
Never
may
even
not,
see that.
right? I'm saying this is something that I caught on to from even just looking at it like myself, right? We have Indians right here. Now, all of these, basically what this right here is saying, that all of these roots connect. All of these trees and roots connect. And these are basically all of the tribes of the world, according to the Bible, if I'm not mistaken. Right, but we sticking to the family trees. So, going back to the Hebrews, coming at
Shit,
it,
if you honestly go right back up, like you just said though, the whole tree, when niggas do a family tree, right? It starts at the bottom, so the roots is the foundation, right? Look at the bottom.
Noah and his ark.
Wow. So they gave you and this is a real oldest, I guess the oldest version of this Bible. So it's not revised that many times yet. It's not revised probably any times yet. So this
It was just
depiction,
translated.
right? This depiction is just now what that say? Asia, Africa, and Europe. What's the? I can't see it. You can zoom in real quick.
Yeah, it says coming out of Noah, you got Asia being the middle branch,
Mm-hmm.
Europe being the left branch, and Africa being the right branch.
Mm-hmm.
But coming out of Asia, and this connects us back to the Asiatic Negroes thing,
Right.
is where you have the Eber and the Archafrod and the Hebrews.
Exactly.
So if we have that connection to the Asiatic Negroes,
And then just go right back up though. Go right back up
which
to
part?
the tree branches is going one way, right? Go right back up to how it went down to how the sons was named. Where they at?
Oh,
Go
that's
back up to that left page. Damn, I'm just catching that shit too. Now go back, yeah, and go down a little bit. Noah, who's in the middle? Who's to the left and who's to the right?
Japheth and Ham.
Now go back to the tree.
Crazy, right?
Who's in the middle? Who's to the left and who's to the right?
Crazy. Hamitic, Japhetic, Shemitic.
Wow.
It's bringing us back to this Asiatic Negroes thingy. So when we
I
looking
mean,
into,
we just doing the connecting the dots with our own two eyes, man. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
that's it. That's it. It brings us back to that.
Crazy.
But looking at the Shemitic chart, right? Check this out, y'all. Archafad, Eber. This is where the Hebrews would have came out of.
Mm-hmm.
And
Meaning
then
that they're not Israelites yet. The tribe Israelite did not come yet.
explain it to him. Break it down to him, bro.
So as it go down the line and it goes down, Eber is like great great grandfather as it gets down to Moses and Abraham. Abraham was the chosen one. Yes. He was the chosen one out of all his siblings. For some reason, we don't know why. He just was chosen. Even his family members didn't understand why, they didn't believe it. He didn't believe it. But out of him came two sons, and out of those two came 12 tribes, because out of those two sons, Jacob and Esau, Jacob was again chosen when he didn't think he was supposed to be chosen. Or Esau, they say that he took his Esau's birthright, or whatever the case may be. Jacob was chosen. Jacob's name was turned to Israel. It's a lot of names that will be changed, because if you're chosen, your name kind of get changed. Just like nowadays, how people become religious and they change their name to something else. Or just like nowadays, you feel me? Honestly, how our names are given to us, but really they was a slave last name, technically. You feel me? So if your ancestors is an African slave, or that for that matter type shit. But yeah, everybody would change their name. So Jacob changed his name to Israel, and those his sons, because yes, he had multiple wives. A lot of people back then had multiple wives. They had just like now, but it's not multiple girlfriends. You actually called this girl your wife, whether you really cared for her that much or not. Because he did love two wives better than the other two. But out of those four joints, those four wives, he had 12 sons, and those 12 sons were called the children of Israel, right? Because they're the children of him. And the children of Israel is called the 12 tribes that were supposed to populate and lead the world to the Most High, according to Genesis. Now, also in Genesis, his cousin Ishmael also had 12 sons, and his sons was also given a set of kingdoms, which also is now the Muslims. So this is where they take their part in the book of Genesis and say that that's their birthright and they're the chosen ones, when that's not technically true. So it's definitely like interpretation, like I said in the first place. However, somebody would read the book and want to interpretate it, and tell somebody else is how religious groups was made. But like we see, everybody didn't go through certain trials and tribulations that is in the book of Deuteronomy, that can only one say that they are the chosen 12 tribes of Israel, or they're the descendants of the tribes of Israel, because those people were cursed for a certain amount of time, and they went through a certain amount of trials and tribulations, and they are still going through trials and tribulations that are prophesized. So if your ancestors were, I guess, the rulers of time, then you can't say that you are those people that were afflicted with these curses.
The only people who could have been inflicted with these curses are the people who wouldn't be able to understand or trace their lineage back to that history because it's
And
lost.
and that's exactly what one of the curses are. If you look it up in Deuteronomy, it says that you will be lost and you will be taken captive by your brethren and your enemies. So as you see in the tree, they all are brothers. So if you we all know the story of Moses, because most people have watched movies and kid Disney movies of you know Noah's Ark and stuff like that. So we all seen these kind of stories, but people don't know which story is true, right? Until you get to old texts and information, and you actually see names that are still the same. Like my brother's pointing out right now, Syrians, Persians. You feel me? Sparta
These are the people.
300.
These are
You
the
feel me?
people who chased
What
the
do you
Hebrews out of their land.
what do you
That's
think we where do you think all these people get these movies from? They do get these movies from history textbooks. They just turn it into movies that are action films for us in our live time today because we wasn't there back then. They actually fought with swords and had horses and stuff like that. That's what they had to do.
But let's go back to what you just said though about them being brothers and going to war with one another. Just to
Hmm.
point something out to you guys, right? So if Hebrews come from Eber, and then the Israelites come from Abraham,
Hmm.
and the Israelites were removed and displaced from their land or chased out of their land by the Assyrians, who are
Hmm.
also Shemites. What does that
Hmm.
tell you? Tribes warring on each other, right?
Hmm.
Of the same nation or of the same ancestry, but warring on each other. So these Assyrians and these Persians you find over there in the east still to this day.
Hmm.
And then you still also, in addition to that, you still find the Aramaic language over there to this day. But
Find it over
nothing.
here.
Sorry.
So you find it over here.
Yeah, definitely, you definitely do. But nothing with these people seem to exist anymore, right? With these
Hmm.
Hebrews or these Israelites, everything got lost in translation.
And everything now is just a small pockets of people that stay connected to this type of culture, this type of teaching. So if only small pockets of people stay connected to a certain type of teaching, what does that even say? Because if one group is getting bigger by the second, and the other group is staying miniature, small, how is it not growing if it still has a piece of it around? That's like having a grandparent or a great grandparent still around, but your family has no means of growing because it stopped at your last parent.
Well, man, listen, this is all I'm gonna say. This all brings me into this one thing, right? Like I spoke about in the Mound Builders video for those who checked it out. We spoke about some of the archaeological relics that was found over here with some of these inscriptions that pretty much showcase languages that were being spoken or like that the people over here were speaking. And then some of these archaeological findings, you see stuff like this,
Hmm.
right? Phoenician style Hebraic script on a rock. This is called the Bat Creek Stone. Go check out the Mound Builders video, y'all. Go check it out. This is called the Bat Creek Stone. Make sure y'all subscribe to the More Than Money platform on YouTube, man. By the way, right? It's the Bat Creek Stone. This is the type of stuff they finding over here in America, right? What else we got? I also showed folks this, the Ten Commandment Stone, the Ten Commandment Rock, which I even showed y'all the translation that they had for it, you know. And the translation blew my mind, y'all. Blew my mind. We see the word Jehovah. We see wild different stuff present in this Ten Commandment rock here that was found in New Mexico. They discovered this rock here in New Mexico.
That's
So when we
amazing.
talking, it's beautiful because when we talking in terms of the lost tribes, you really got to ask yourself a question. Well, lost tribes, where could they have went, and how do we find out their migration pattern? Well,
Hmm.
one thing I know about history is that what most tribes did to leave their mark was they left these hieroglyphs or these relics, like the Great Pyramids of Giza. They left these things behind for a reason. You dig? They did it for a reason, to show people. They did it to show folks we still here. We ain't go nowhere. Yeah, we got exiled out of our land, which could have been here in America as well. We all know that America is the true old world. Most of the archaeological findings over here date back as far as anything older than Africa, as old as China, to be actually fact. I got a good video coming out for y'all soon. Is a debate between scientists and historians now on who invented the compass, if it was the ancient Chinese or if it was the Olmecs. The Olmecs, y'all, right? It's crazy, man, to think about it. So basically, these authors and these historians are making claims that the Aboriginals over here are descendants of the lost tribes. And we're going to go over that, right? We're going to talk about it. As a matter of fact, let's give it to them right now, bro. Let's give them that fire. Let's give them that fire. We're going to talk about it. My good brother just gave y'all a breakdown on the entire story. So not even on the entire story, because we got more to talk about, more to figure out amongst that within itself. But we're going to talk about this one right here. This one right here goes crazy, man. Can you see what I see right now, my brother?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. What is this? What did this say? This
The
said,
American Indians, those
yes,
tribes of Israel.
yes, the American Indians, being the descendants of the lost tribes of Israel, right? This book was created and published in 1837. So in 1837, that means from the 1700s onward, while all of these different missionaries and folks and them was spending time with the American Indians, they were seeing characteristics and lifestyles similar to those that they've studied from, I guess, related to the lost tribes of Israel. And peep this, the author's last name of the book is Noah.
Mm.
Crazy, right?
I mean, he was meant to do that.
Crazy, but yeah, we're gonna get into this, man. We're gonna get into this. So let's move forward. So first things first, right? What is a discourse? Right? What is a discourse? Right? Because some people might not even understand what that